You are listening to the Life Coach Business Podcast with Amanda Carlstad, episode number 167. Welcome to the Life Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to a whole new level. If you're ready to start taking powerful action and become the leader your business needs in order to grow and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Carlstad, certified life and business coach and entrepreneurial leadership expert. Now let's get down to business. Hello and welcome everyone. So glad to have you here today. Today I am bringing you an encore episode of a show I recorded a while back that's titled Expanding into Your Next Level. And I decided to bring you this episode today because I think the timing of this message, the timing of the lessons in this episode are very important for all of you. And as we wind down 2022 and move into 2023, my intention with today's episode is to bring these lessons forward for you, to highlight these lessons again, as I have been having so many amazing conversations with my clients as we have been in the process of doing really thorough debriefs in my programs, both in my 6-month Business Accelerator program, the Mastermind, as well as in my high-level Mastermind, where I have really been challenging my clients to look back at this year, to really look back at all of the progress that they've made, which has been phenomenal for clients in both of these programs, to really look back at the progress that they've made this past year. And it's so amazing to do this because we have clients who have hit their first $1 million year. We have clients that have doubled their businesses. We have clients that are creating the most successful months that they've had in their businesses to date. We've had clients who literally at this time of last year were on the verge of giving up on their business, who have now, fast forward, have made over 6 figures this year and are looking at 2023 and having multiple 6-figure goals now seem so easy to them. And so we have so many wins that are happening and clients that have literally now created their dream businesses and have made extraordinary progress and growth in their personal lives as well. And so the wins and the successes that my clients are creating are truly extraordinary. And one of the things that I have been spending time on with them is really taking a look at what has been the cause to that success, what has been the cause of those results. And also really challenging each and every one of them to get really clear on the lessons that they've learned from this year. And so as we've been having these powerful conversations, it's become very clear to me that there are a few very specific and important lessons that are coming through for many of them. And many of them, when I look back on today's episode, are captured in this show. So I wanted to bring this episode back to all of you today as you're reflecting on this past year for yourselves, as you're looking ahead to 2023. And as I know you're gearing up and you're really looking to make 2023 a breakthrough year for yourself. So I want to offer you today these lessons, the lessons that I know have the potential to really serve you if you choose to lean into them, if you choose to hear these lessons that are in this show. And I know that without a doubt, when you choose to integrate these lessons into your journey as an entrepreneur, as you're growing your business, they can change everything. And so this is a really important episode. These lessons are very important. And with that, I want to just encourage you to lean in and to really take note of these lessons that I'm bringing you today. And so with that, let's go ahead and dive into today's show. I want to talk to you all today about what it takes to expand into your next level. And I will say that if you're growing a business, or if you are scaling a business, and if you've been in that process for any significant amount of time, I think what I'm about to talk about is really going to be your next evolution. It's really your next level that is going to allow you to continue to grow. That's going to allow you to continue to expand your business and ultimately make more money. And for my listeners, I know that that's what you're working towards. I know that that's your goal. And I know for many of you that you have dreams, you have aspirations, you have goals of building and scaling a very large business. And for many of you, you have very big goals. And I want to tell you that if that's you, you're in the right place, because I really do believe that that is my zone of genius through my own process of building my business, and also through my personal work, the deep personal work that I have done and that I continue to do on a daily basis. One of the things that I know I have been gifted is helping my clients to shift into their next levels and helping them in many cases shift immediately into those next levels internally so that you can start taking action, you can start executing on the external strategies that help you grow and scale your business. And because of that, that's why when clients generally start working with me in my programs, it really doesn't matter where they're at in terms of revenue and, where their business is at. My goal is really to get them to their goal in the most accelerated way. And that's one of the things that I love seeing most in my clients is helping them to take those huge leaps forward, both on a personal level and also with their business. And it's so much fun to be able to work with my clients and help them transform through that process and really witness that process, which then translates into massive growth in their business. And so here's what I want to tell you about this. The concepts that we are going to talk about today are a huge part of this. They're a huge part of being able to take those huge leaps to make those quantum shifts that I talk so often about. So I think it's a really important conversation, no matter what type of business you have, no matter where you're at in your business growth, it's all going to be relevant to you. And I know many of you are coaches or perhaps consultants, but I also know that I have several listeners who are creative business owners as well. And I want you all to know that the concepts that we're about to talk about, it really doesn't matter the type of business that you're in. The concepts are universal, regardless of your business, regardless of your business model. So let's get to it. And I want to start by saying that one of the things that I believe makes the coaching industry, the personal development / coaching / consulting industry so unique is that it's one of the simplest types of businesses to start. It's really has a simple business model when you look at it. Yet at the same time, I found that it's also one of the most confronting. And it's because that in the industry, in the coaching industry, growing a coaching business is a very personal thing. It's personal because as a business owner, as the coach who's also the business owner, you are the brand in most cases. You are the face of your business. It's you that is coaching your clients and working on a very deep level typically with your clients. And so it's a very, very personal thing. Now, I also believe that it's one of the privileges that we have as coaches to be able to do the deep work, to be able to help others improve their lives in all of the ways that we are capable of doing that. I believe this really is a gift. And it's also one of the biggest personal journeys I believe that one can ever go through is building a business. And so again, it doesn't matter what type of business you own. If you're an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is a complete personal journey. And I also believe it's a very spiritual one, especially if you're in the personal development world. So I think one of the things that is important to understand and that is most unique about all of this is that it really does require a level of your own personal growth. It requires a level of your own personal evolution in order to grow your business to a substantial level. And in fact, one of the things that I talk a lot about and really base the whole concept of my podcast is that in order to grow a business, you have to first grow the leader of that business. And that, I'm guessing for all of you, is you. And one of the reasons for that is because when you look at, again, the coaching industry, for example, when you look at what it is that you're really selling, it's very different from selling, let's just say, a widget. Okay. It's not like you're selling a product, something you could buy in a store. You're selling transformation and you're selling you. And so because you're selling your ideas and your approach and your content, which again is very different than selling, let's say, a mop or a set of knives or some sort of household product that you might see in a store, it's a very, very different ballgame. And because of this, you also open yourself up to a lot of different personalities, a lot of different people, which also leads to different opinions and in some cases, perhaps criticism or naysayers, whatever that might be. And because it does open you up and because it's such a personal journey that you go through, it requires a certain level of emotional maturity to develop. It requires that your emotional maturity is at a certain point. It requires that you are emotionally resilient. And the truth of this is as your business gets bigger and bigger, as you're working with more and more clients, as your audience grows, the learning curve that's required to build a large business, especially if you've never done it before, it's huge. And in that process, there are so many things that you've never been confronted with. There's so many things you haven't done before. And so because of that, it can be a very confronting situation. And how you choose to respond to those situations is what will make the difference. It's having that emotional maturity and that emotional resiliency to be able to choose how to best respond in those situations. And in so many cases, it really can be the difference between keeping your momentum in your business or the difference of stopping you in your tracks. And I will tell you, if the latter happens, that is a very dangerous place to be. And the truth is that I see this happen a lot, especially with newer entrepreneurs. But what I want to offer to you today and what I have learned is that the faster you can respond, the faster you can move through whatever it is that is coming at you with a level of emotional maturity, the sooner you'll be able to gain your footing, the sooner you can start gaining traction, and the sooner you'll start creating momentum. This is really, really important. And the next thing I think is important to understand is that the more your business grows, the more vulnerable in many ways it might start to feel. And the reason for this is because of the fact that you are opening yourself up to more and more people. And because there's so many more new channels and layers and opinions, and again, in some cases, criticism, again, it's opening up you to so many new levels of vulnerability that you may not have experienced before, that may not have been open before. So having that emotional maturity, your ability to handle what it is that comes at you is really important. So managing your emotions and your ability to navigate the things that are coming up for you is huge, because your ability to be able to move through whatever that is going to make all the difference. The next piece that goes right along with all of this is your ability to be uncomfortable. And what I mean by this is your ability to be able to move through any type of discomfort. It's having an ability to keep putting one step in front of the other, even if you're feeling different levels of discomfort. So let's say, for example, that for whatever reason, you might not just be feeling at the top of your game, and maybe you had some personal things happening, or something was happening in your corporate job that kind of threw you off, or you had some doubts coming up in your business. It doesn't really matter. But the point is that you've got things happening. We all do. And they all do have the ability to affect how we feel. And so for most new entrepreneurs and most new coaches that I work with, in so many cases, hitting that first 100,000 might feel impossible. From wherever you're sitting right here in the moment, it might seem so far off. And it might be, maybe you've developed a new program and you haven't sold it before. And so thinking about putting it out into the world and selling it and doing all of the marketing and selling it out, all of those things might seem impossible to you right now. And the reason it does is because we don't have evidence of that yet. We don't have evidence that people want to buy it. We don't have evidence that we can create our business to that level. And so I even see this with strategy a lot of times when newer coaches come to me and it's the first time they've put together any type of sophisticated marketing strategy. It gets overwhelming very, very quickly. And the reason for that is, again, because it's all new skills in many cases that we're learning, but we also don't have the evidence. We don't have that evidence that it's going to work. And so it's very, very easy for that self-doubt to start creeping in, for that voice in our minds, right? That record that's playing that tells us, what if this doesn't work, right? Yeah, this works for so-and-so, but maybe this isn't going to work for me. And so I think this is just important to really be onto yourself in these moments and be onto your brain and understand that your brain is literally doing its job. And so for some of you, you might have had some level of success and you might be in the scaling process of your business. And maybe you even have some level of audience to a degree. And so in some cases, it might feel like your stakes are even bigger because there are more people. And now there's bigger feelings that there's more to lose. So it really doesn't matter what stage you might be in this moment. What's important to understand is that the process in and of itself of starting to play a bigger game will present new challenges. It will bring out self-doubt. It will be uncomfortable. It will require you to grow and develop many new skills as you're putting yourself out there in a bigger way. And because you've never done this before, your brain, what it will do, and this is inevitable, it will work to keep you in your comfort zone. It will work to continually point out and seek out evidence of whatever that core belief is. So let's say, for example, if you have a core belief that you don't think you can have the level of success that you really want, or you don't think that a certain strategy is going to work for you, your brain, the primitive part of your brain, until that core belief changes, will continually seek out evidence of this all around you. And it will feel completely uncomfortable. And it will cause you to continue to question things, and you will feel fear, and you will feel self-doubt, and you might even feel insecure. And so these types of feelings of discomfort, these emotions, I want you to know are all part of it. And your ability to handle these types of levels of discomfort, these types of emotions, is absolutely one of the secrets to growing your business. And the sooner you can embrace the discomfort, the sooner you can understand that it's actually where your next level of growth will come from, is so, so valuable. And so when you decide to go in on your business, and when I say in on your business, I mean all in. So when you decide that you're going to take big steps forward, whether it's investing in a certain program or putting a certain marketing strategy together or starting to run some paid advertising, there are a number of ways that you can go all in your business. And that's going to look a little bit different for all of you. But for some of you, it might even be letting go of your 9-to-5 job and going all in on your business. And whatever that looks like, when you make that decision, when you decide to go all in, and you start to realize that you're moving into a place where it does feel uncomfortable, where you probably don't have full confidence, where you certainly don't have evidence that what you're trying to achieve will even happen. When you are willing to bet on yourself, that, my friends, is when I think the real training starts. That is when we tend to learn our biggest and most valuable lessons. That is when you'll likely be confronted with even more levels of ambiguity and discomfort. And ultimately, what you're doing is you're risking failure. But yet having the willingness to go there, the willingness to bet on yourself to the degree that it might feel like you're risking it all, what I want to tell you is this: that is where the best lessons will happen. That is where the best lessons, as far as where you need to grow, as far as what your next level is, that is when that really starts. And these are the situations where we can learn and where we have the opportunity to grow the most. So I want to encourage you to not resist this. I want to encourage you to welcome this. I encourage you to recognize that you're putting yourself in the game, as I like to say. And yes, there will be complexity. Yes, there will be discomfort. Yes, you will fail. And yes, you're feeling likely that you're risking something big by doing this. But what I want to offer is that this is actually what will move you closer to your goal. Because to use a sports analogy, it's when we keep ourselves on the sidelines, it's when we hold ourselves back from playing full out. That is when personally, I think we risk so much more. We risk not stepping into our true potential. We risk not getting our message out in the way that we could. We risk not helping the people we could really be helping. This is why growing your capacity and leaning into the discomfort is so important. This is why growing your capacity to lean into the failures and lean into the risk is what we want to be doing. Because unless we do that, we risk staying where we're at. We risk never playing full out. We risk not making the impact we could really be making. So I want to encourage you to lean in, dig into feeling the discomfort, dig into the complexity, dig into the failure, dig into the risk, bet on yourself. That, my friends, is where you're going to start to reach new levels, both personally and in your business. That is where you'll learn your most valuable lessons. That is where true transformation, true growth will occur. All right, my friends, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, if you're ready for a real breakthrough in your business and want to grow and scale your business to at least 6 figures or more in annual revenue, I invite you to apply for my exclusive program, The Mastermind, at amandacarlstadcoaching.com/the-mastermind. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Life Coach Business Podcast. If you want to learn more about how to build, grow, and scale your business and accelerate your results, visit amandacarlstadcoaching.com.